In today's video, I'm going to show you how to work with your PPC agency so that you get the absolute best results possible with minimum headaches. Hey, I'm Daryl and I run Big Flare, a PPC agency that focuses on scaling e-commerce businesses. I've been in this industry for over a decade and I have experienced pretty much every type of agency-client relationship. I've seen relationships that have been totally mismanaged, resulting in a lack of results for the client and agency. And I've seen the other side, those perfect relationships where client and agency grow together for many years and there's tons of excitement and happiness on both ends. There are actually four main things that you can do to make sure that you fall into the latter category rather than the former. So let's dive in and start talking about those things. The first and most important thing to do is to get super duper crystal clear on what the goal actually is. In order to do this, you need to get super clear on your own numbers. Then you need to know whether you are prioritizing revenue growth or profitability right now. When I say get clear on your own numbers, the most important things to be clear on are your COGS, or costs of goods sold, your gross profit margin, and the value of a customer to you. For the value of a customer, if you have a good picture of the lifetime value of a customer, then bonus points for you, that's great. A lot of businesses do not know this number super well, but if you don't know your LTV, don't sweat it. Having a solid number for your average order value and having some idea about how likely you are to get repeat purchases will suffice. Once you have those numbers, be clear on what your break-even return on ad spend is. This can be easily calculated by dividing 1 by your gross profit margin. So if your gross profit margin is, say, 50%, then 1 divided by 0.5 is 2. Your break-even ROAS is thus 2, or 200%. Okay, now that you are clear on your numbers, make sure to be clear on whether or not you are prioritizing revenue growth or profit margin right now. You can't have both at the same time. Sorry guys. Over the course of a year, you absolutely can have revenue growth and profit margin growth. But when we chunk that down to the next 3 to 6 months, you have to pick one of those goals. When you pick revenue growth as the priority, don't expect your profit margin to increase at the same time. And vice versa, when you pick profit margin as the priority, don't expect revenue to grow at the same time. Pick one priority for 3 to 6 months at a time, and then after that time, feel free to switch to the other priority. Over time, you should see growth in both revenue and profitability, if that's what you want to see. The one exception to this rule is if you are new to Google Ads. In this case, you might be able to expect revenue and profitability growth at the same time for a period of time. The second step, once you and your agency are super clear on the goals and KPIs, is for you to let go a bit and manage the goal, not the tasks. Hopefully you hired that PPC agency because you wanted a trusted expert to guide you towards your goal. Someone who is smarter and more capable than you, at least when it comes to the PPC side of things. Of course, you will always be the person with the most knowledge about your business, but you hired that agency because you want to trust them to be the expert in the PPC domain. So things are going to get a lot better and smoother for you if you don't get too tangled up in the day-to-day tasks, and instead keep your eyes laser focused on the goal and your progress towards it. Your agency will probably be doing a weekly communication with you about the results. That might be a written report or even a meeting. So pay attention to those weekly comms. There's no need to look too hard at the list of things they have done or plan to do. That's up to them. You can glance at those things just to get a general sense of what the plan is. But where you need to pay a lot of attention is to the actual numbers and then feed back to them on whether those numbers are good and moving towards your goal, yes or no. Now that you're clear on all of that and you are managing the goals, not the tasks, for you, the time cost of keeping your PPC on track should be no more than 30 minutes per week. So, in the rest of your time, don't sweat the small stuff. Sweat the big stuff instead. Some things you do want to be sweating about include your site conversion rate, your pricing strategy, product selection, increasing your customer LTV, hiring the right people at the right time, and so on. Also, avoid looking at your PPC results like a daily stock ticker. When you zoom in to a very granular level on PPC, like say the hourly or daily view, you can see a lot of ups and downs in the results. This is just an aspect of how data and probabilities work. When you zoom in you might see a lot of jags, a lot of peaks and troughs. Don't get too worried about troughs in the short term. Pay more attention to the long-term trend. Looking longer term, weeks and months, helps to smooth out the jags. Half of the time, that worrying dip that you saw on the daily or weekly view, when you zoom out to the weekly or monthly view, you see it's typical to get down spikes like that. And if the general trend is still up, you're in good shape, so don't sweat it. One thing about working with a PPC agency, if the trust ain't there, it is not going to work for either you or the agency long term. This is where awesome communication comes into play. Tell your agency about any important product or business updates. Even if you're not sure if it affects what they do, tell them anyway. You might be surprised at the way they may be able to support wider business objectives. If there's a new product or service launching, tell them. If a product is out of stock, tell them. Promotions and discounts, tell them. You get the picture. And if you ever feel damage to the trust that you feel in them, be open about it. Tell them what happened and how you feel about it. Don't worry, a good agency wants this feedback. It helps them get better after all. Try and work on repairing the trust, because with no trust, things just won't work out. And if it gets to a point where you think the trust cannot be repaired, well then you need to find a new agency to work with. Trust me, it will be better for them and for you in the long run. So there you have it, my big 4 when it comes to creating a mutually profitable and fun relationship with your agency. The big 4 things are to get super clear on the goal. Manage the goal, not the tasks. Sweat the big stuff, and invest in communication and trust. Of those 4 things, which one do you think you do best right now, and which one do you think you have the most room for improvement in? Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to get more videos like this, hit the subscribe and bell button now. I will be publishing 3 videos per month, every month, all about PPC, Google Ads, e-commerce growth, and the like. And if you're interested to work with me, then head over to bigflare.com and reach out to me via the site. My team and I at Big Flare specialize in helping businesses to scale with Google Ads. So hit me up if that's of interest. Okay, quick scratching break. In today's video, I think, Irene!
Is she mad at you or something?
Can you do the plates later? We can hear it. Thanks.